for tuning in to the Murder Files. I'm your host, Buffy Gunner. Murder File 5 will be covering the murder of rapper Archie Eversole, along with our featured missing person, Felicia Johnson, from out of Houston, Texas. Stay with me as I'll be jumping right into the first story after this quick commercial break. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast all in one place. Download the free Anchor app today or go to anchor.fm to get started. All right, you guys, so our story today comes straight out of Atlanta, Georgia. On March 25th, officers responded to a Chevron gas station on Gulf Vista Circle in Snapwoods Drive on a report that a man was shot. There, they found Atlanta, Georgia rapper Archie Eversole suffering from a gunshot wound. He was taken to a nearby hospital where he eventually died from his injuries on April 3rd. And the cold part about the whole story is they say that his brother, Alexander Cruz, is the person that shot him. And to me, that's so wild because, it's your own brother. It's always your own people, they say. Anyway, I know a lot of you may be wondering, who is the rapper Archie Eversole? So I'll go ahead and tell you who he is. Archie Eversole was an American hip-hop recording artist based in Atlanta. Archer's only album he recorded, which was at the age of 17, was called Ride With Me, Dirty South Style. He released in 2002 and peaked at number 83 on the Billboard 200. His featured single, We Ready, with Bubba Sparks, reached number 64 on the Billboard Hot R&B Hip Hop Songs chart. In 2018, he released United We Conquer, a theme for the Major League Soccer club in Atlanta. Now, his song, We Ready, it has been played everywhere. I'm sure everyone has heard that song before, even if you think you haven't. It's widely known to be played at ball games, especially football games, basketball games. I've actually heard it played at conferences before, motivational speaking conferences. I heard life coaches play it when they're coming up on stage and things like that. So somewhere you heard it before. If you think you haven't, go ahead and go on YouTube, look up his song We Ready, and you're definitely going to be like, oh, I remember this, because that's exactly how I was. But let's go ahead and get into the details. According to the police report, Archie told police his bedroom door was kicked open and he woke up to a gunshot to his face, and that was on March 25th. While he said he couldn't see who shot him at the time, his brother Alexander had been charged with his murder in connection with the shooting. So when police found Archie at the gas station after the shooting, he was asked who the shooter was and if the shooter was still in his home, which they confirmed that the shooter was still at his home, but Archie never said who the shooter was. He didn't want to answer, and he started, fading in and out of conscious. His brother Alexander was later arrested at Archie's home after police noticed fresh blood covering the front door and a trail of blood from the stairs to Archie's room, where the blood spattered the door and it had been busted through. There was also blood all over the bed, the wall, his pillows, everywhere. Alexander initially told police he was fine and was checking on his brother, but police noticed he had blood on his socks. He also told police he was limping from a blister on his foot. So after all of their investigation, they eventually figured out that it was him and went ahead and charged him for murder. But he wasn't initially charged with murder. He was initially charged with aggravated assault because, of course, Archie wasn't dead yet. But once Archie died, his charges was then upgraded to murder. Now, his mother, Archie and Alexander's mother, she doesn't believe that his brother Alexander is the one who killed him. She's been too devastated to talk to the media publicly, but Archie Eversole's manager John Williams got her permission to record a private video explaining why she thinks Alexander is innocent. She said they had no arguments, they had no feuds. And I know that yesterday I talked to the neighbor next door. I asked her and I say, did you hear any arguments? Did you hear any fights? She said no, she didn't hear nothing, not that day or not any other day. Now, at first the family didn't want to speak about the situation at first, which is understandable because who can really process something like this? I mean, think about it. One brother killing another brother. That's like Cain and Abel in the Bible. They basically just lost two people at once. So I expect them not to want to speak publicly. In the beginning, they need time to process and time to grieve and time to really just figure out what's coming next, which is very unfortunate. I just wonder, what led to this? Was he jealous? Did something happen? Did Alexander feel slighted? I just couldn't imagine because I wish I did have my brother. My brother was murdered back in 2012 on New Year's Day, and I'll do anything to have my brother back. So I know, like, if he was like on drugs or something, I know if he came down by now, he's probably really feeling it. Now, I'm not saying that he is on drugs. I'm just, speculating what's going on. If you're not known to have feuds with your siblings, what would cause a whole entire murder to happen? That's totally, different from just having a fight with your brother and sister. That's very common, but just to kill them, that's crazy. But you never know when someone will envy you. You never know if someone hates you. I tell people all the time, you don't never really know anyone but yourself. You don't know your mama the way you think you do. You don't know your daddy the way you think you do. No matter how long you have known a person, no matter who they are to you, you don't know them. And the main reason why you don't know them is because you know how you think of thoughts in your head? You could be looking at something and you're actually thinking about something, so it's like you're talking to yourself in your head. You don't know what's going on in that other person's head. Ever. So you can't never really say what someone will do and what someone was thinking. But it's just really unfortunate. And how would you even know that your brother feels some type of way about you to where he will go as far as taking your life? I can't even imagine. I do still have my sister left in this world. And although we don't have the perfect relationship, I'm not going to sit here and say that we do. However, we're not on no terms that we wanted to kill each other. I don't hate her. She doesn't hate me. We just don't agree on everything. Probably because I'm the oldest. She's 8 years younger than me. But I just couldn't imagine doing something to her that would hurt her and also hurt my mother at the same time. I'm going to go ahead and end this with a few a few clips from the news about this murder. But I'm going to end this saying rest in peace to Archie Eversole. May your soul find eternal peace. I really hope that, everything goes well for your family, and I'll keep your family in my prayers. You guys stay tuned for our next story. After we come back from a quick commercial break, we're going to go ahead and begin with our featured missing person story.
You know the song. Over the years, it's transformed into a rallying cry for Atlanta sports fans. Well, now people are mourning the loss of its creator, rapper Archie Eversole, his own brother now accused in his murder. His mother, though, their mother, believes he isn't responsible for the crime. And for the first time ever, we're hearing from her and Eversole's manager.
We got question marks about everything.
I feel the master. I feel him.
Archie Eversole first released We Ready in 2002, and from high school locker rooms to NFL stadiums, it became Atlanta's anthem. The rapper's family now in a state of shock over his death. He was shot March 25th and couldn't recover, they say, from the loss of blood following that shooting. Eversole's mother was out of the country when he was killed, had to confirm her son's identity when she returned. Ms. Eversole insists his brother Alex Krause did not commit the crime.
They had no arguments. They had no feuds. Okay? No.
And you the mom.
And I know that. And as I said yesterday, I talked to the neighbor next door, and I just asked her, and I said, did you hear any arguments? Did you hear any fights? She said, no, I didn't hear nothing.
Nah, something went, that don't make.
I mean, not that day and not any other day.
We do know in our heart that Alex wouldn't do nothing like that, you know. So which Archie brother. I mean, Archie protected his brother so much.
Krause is being charged with murder in DeKalb County. While loved ones and fans alike remember We Ready, saying it wasn't just a song, it was the way Eversole lived his life, always ready for whatever challenge the music industry and life would throw at him.
New details tonight, and the man accused of killing the rapper who created the theme song for the Atlanta United is denied bond. Alexander Krause faced a judge in DeKalb County today. He's accused of shooting and killing his own brother, rapper Archie Eversole, last month. Police say Eversole was shot in the face while he was sleeping inside his own home. During the hearing today, the judge called Krause a danger to the community.
There has been a loss of life, and there's nothing that I can say or do that will bring back Mr. Eversole.
Eversole, known for the hype song We Ready, and was chosen to create Atlanta United's theme song, United We Conquer.
New today.
Where is Felicia Johnson? Felicia Johnson went missing from out of Houston, Texas. However, she is from San Diego, California. They said she came to Houston from California to celebrate her birthday earlier this month. But she went to go apply for a job at the Cover Girls nightclub in Houston to be a dancer. And they say that she was turned down when she was there. And when she left, she was calling an Uber, waiting on an Uber to come pick her up. But the Uber took forever to get there. And she was offered a ride by one of the patrons at the nightclub. And she took that ride, and she hasn't been seen since. Now, this was on April 15th. That's the last time she's been seen. And this Cover Girls nightclub is at the address is 10310 West Low York Road in Houston, Texas. As far as the driver of the car who she got in the car with, no one knows. No one knows what kind of car it was. They did find her cell phone. Her father hired a private investigator, and he found her cell phone discarded on the side of the road at Bear Creek Park, and it was covered in blood. And I know that when the family heard that, they had to feel some type of way, because I wouldn't know how I would feel if one of my loved ones was missing and they find her cell phone with covered in blood, but they haven't found her. That seems very scary. But they also said that she hasn't used her credit cards, she hasn't used her phone, she hasn't been on social media since then, and they said that's not like her at all. The reason why she went to go apply for a job is because she was thinking about moving to Houston, Texas. She does have family out there that she was visiting. Crime Stoppers is offering a reward to help find her. If you have any information, it's $5,000. They haven't released a lot of details, so that's mainly all the details they have released. But as far as her description, Felicia is 5 feet 4 inches tall and weighs about 150 pounds. She has a tattoo of a rose and butterfly on her right shoulder. She has brown eyes and black hair. She is black with a dark complexion. She's not really dark. She's more of like a brown skin, I would say, like the coconut color. I would say that's her complexion. They don't have a description of what she was wearing at the time. Hopefully, they pull the surveillance cameras from the club and see what she was wearing, who she was talking to, who she left with, because none of that is known right now. I was watching an interview with Quanell X, one of the guys that's working on the case, and he said someone is deliberately attempting to throw us off. Someone is deliberately creating social media pages in her name and image to make it seem as though she is still out here doing something other than in harm's way. I also seen a few hateful comments on KHOU 11's Facebook post. I saw where someone was saying that she was trafficked in Mexico and they'll never find her, and they was basically laughing. I'm not sure if that's, just somebody trolling or that was someone being serious. It looked like a fake profile, but you never know. Everything should be looked into these days. Also, to piggyback off of social media again, saw someone saying that there's a lot of girls and women being taken from places like Houston and Atlanta and being put into human trafficking inside of Mexico. Again, I'm not sure how true that is, but that's what I've read. I've also read that there's an epidemic in Houston with black girls going missing and coming up murdered. And I could definitely say that I can see that, because I noticed that a lot of stories that I report on my illicit deeds page, a lot of those stories that involve women getting killed, women coming up missing, they're coming out of Houston, Texas. A lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them. Her father, Kevin Johnson, he did an interview with, I believe it was Fox 26, or probably was KHOU, but he did do an interview, and he said, I think she got caught up in one of those sex trafficking, human trafficking situations where they are snatching up these girls, these out-of-town girls, and putting them to work. That's what I think happened to her. I don't have proof, but in my heart, I feel like the strip club has something to do with it. Now, Fox 26 said they reached out to CoverGirls for comment, but they were told that the owners never come into the establishment and there's no way to speak to them, which is crazy. I don't know of any company that don't speak to the news when stuff like this happens. They also said that the manager that's on duty or any of the managers doesn't take any phone calls. So it seems to me that they have a lot to hide. I'm not sure about everybody else, but that's very odd. The men who own the club are brothers. Their names are Ali and Hassan Davari. I did a quick Google search and found a few interesting things about the club and its owners. I seen an article that said they have been accused of discriminating against employees due to race and age. They have also been sued over unpaid wages, and there's a change petition that was created back in 2011, and the title of it says closed due to violations and rampant prostitution. And inside of that change article, he was talking about how there's a lot of prostitution going on at that club and amongst other things. So if you ever have a chance to go on Google and search that up, I would definitely give that a look-see. Maybe there's something there. There's currently no description of the vehicle she got into, but with data from multiple security cameras, it may become clear which vehicle traveled from the club to the area near the park. However, Felicia's family members are asking for people in the area who do have doorbell cameras to check them on the date that she went missing. You never know. Those cameras can catch more than we think they do. Because I have a doorbell camera myself, a few of them, and I get notifications from things going on all the way down the block. So I would definitely check my cameras if I was in the area. Kevin Johnson, which is Felicia's father, he also ended his interview saying, "It's a tragedy that you have been caught up in this net of whatever they got going on out here. We are working very, very hard to get you back, and I love you. Everybody in the family loves you, and I want you to know, stay strong, and we're coming for you. We're coming for you." I'm going to go ahead and let you guys listen to a few news clippings that involve this case, and we'll come back and finish this off.
Good evening, everyone. I am Xavier Walton. It has been a week of desperate searching. 24-year-old Felicia Johnson hasn't been seen in more than a week, and tonight her family held a vigil where her phone was found. Zach Tawatari was there and joins us from HPD headquarters with more. Zach.
Xavier, Felicia Johnson's family and community activists believe foul play was involved in her disappearance. They're begging anyone with information to come forward as they came together today in prayer.
Felicia! Felicia! Felicia!
It's been over a week.
Some kind of way I'm finding the strength to just keep going and do what's necessary for her.
Since Kevin Johnson's daughter, 24-year-old Felicia Marie Johnson, disappeared.
Every day gets harder.
On Sunday, he was back at Bear Creek Park, the site where her bloody cell phone was recovered, alongside community activist Quanell X, pleading for anyone with information to come forward.
This sister deserves to be found. That's right. We must find her.
According to Quanell, leads have taken them to what he says are fake social media pages.
To make it look and seem as though she's still out there doing something other than at harm's way. We firmly believe that she is the victim of foul play.
Felicia was last seen at CoverGirl's nightclub on West Little York, where she applied for a job. According to Quanell, an unidentified customer offered her a ride, and he believes she was taken against her will.
Felicia, hang in there, sister. We love you. We're looking for you. We're hunting for you, and we will not stop.
And as they continue to pray for her, her father ending with a message to the daughter he says is a very sweet person with a kind heart.
I'm not going nowhere. I'm here. Daddy here.
And Crime Stoppers announcing today they're offering up to a $5,000 reward in this case. If you know anything, you're urged to call 713-222-TIPS. Xavier?
Hoping that family gets some answers soon. Zach Tawatari, thank you.
The FBI, Houston Police Department, and the Texas, I think it's pronounced EcuSearch, are all involved in the case. But if you have any information on her disappearance, you're asked to call the Houston Police Patrol at 713-884-3131 or the Houston Police Missing Persons Division at area code 832-394-1840. Wherever you are, Felicia, I do hope you're found safe, and I definitely send the prayers out to your family. Thanks for listening to the Murder Files with me, Buffy Gunner. If you like what you just heard, I hope you'll pass along my website address, illicitdeeds.com, to your family and friends. And please leave us a positive review wherever you're listening. Be sure to share this episode to your timeline and check me out on social media at Illicit Deeds. This has been an Illicit Deeds production. Join me next time for another episode of The Murder Files.